Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Aligned and Alive. The purpose of these AA meetings is to get you aligned and alive in God's purpose for your life. So, last week I talked about my spiritual journey. I talked about being lost in the sauce and finding God. I talked about motherhood. I talked about all that good stuff. So, if you have not watched that, go back and watch that because finding God was very pivotal in me finding myself. So stay tuned. We're going to be talking about seasons of transition, how to navigate finding yourself through those seasons. Hey guys, so don't mind me if I'm looking down. I took notes. I really want to make sure I give you guys all the good tea, okay? So, I like to share my testimony so you guys know that when I'm speaking, I'm not speaking vainly. I'm speaking from experience. I'm speaking from truth. Okay? So I went from being in a relationship of 7+ years that started in high school to being a single mother. So as you can imagine, that transition was like, nerve-wracking. It had me so discombobulated. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know who I was trying to be. I didn't know who I wanted to become. I knew who I was, but my view of myself was so wrapped up in my relationship and the expectations of friends and family and now being a mother. So when I dropped all of that and I was transitioning into being now a single mother, not just a single individual, but also a single mother. So it's layers onto transitioning. But navigating through that, it was so much easier because I had God guiding me through the whole thing. Just really talking to God and wanting to love myself, wanting to see myself how He sees me. That was very important. So I want to give you guys 3 things that you need to do in order to identify yourself and make it through these seasons of transition. If your season of transition was anything like mine's, these tips are going to help you. So, step 1. Identifying who you are on a surface level. For me, I had went through a pregnancy. My whole body changed. But not only that, I had a C-section. So that in itself, that whole experience was it was crazy. It was insane. So my body had changed. If you've had a child, if you're a woman, you know that your hormones drop. Once that baby comes out, all those good hair growing, skin glowing hormones, they drop, okay? But not only that, prior to giving birth to my child, I cut all my hair off. So I really was just like, didn't like who I saw in the mirror. So, which leads me to the first thing, which I already said, identify yourself on a surface level. So that means taking inventory of your hair, skin, and nails, your clothes. Like, look at yourself in the mirror. Like, really look at yourself. Stare yourself in the eyes, okay? Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Like, if you cannot look at yourself and love yourself, we're not going to be able to do steps 2 and 3. You need to be able to look at yourself, look at the vessel God is giving you, and love it for what it is right now in this moment. Scars and all, no hair, whatever, acne, no acne, you weight on you, you're skinny, it don't matter. In that moment, you need to be able to look at yourself, love yourself. And it may not be right then and there in that moment where you can look at yourself and say, I love myself, but say it anyway. So avoiding a mirror is one of the sure ways we disassociate with our identity. Like, I avoided mirrors like the plague. I didn't want to look in the mirror. Of course, they're in the bathroom, but you're in the bathroom, you're like, you wash my hands, get up out of here. I'm on taking pictures with my baby. Y'all, the acne was horrible. My skin was horrible. I wasn't feeling the vibes, okay? So the point is to not be so vain, but it is to be able to recognize that what you are looking at in a mirror is a reflection of all the decisions you have made, which will empower you in turn to know that you can make better decisions. So if you have acne, you can ask yourself, okay, what are some things I can do to get this situated? Is it my eating? Is it the products that am I using? If you're big or you're small, you want more weight, you want less weight, you can do what you need to do to solve that. The clothes that you're wearing, do they fit? Like, I'm very keen on clothes need to fit and they need to be comfortable. It's very important when we're talking about self-confidence and identifying who you are. Your style is very important. And your style will evolve, but whatever you feel like you need in that moment to feel confident and to feel seen by yourself, do what you need to do on that level. So that is very important. Identifying who you are on a surface level first. But that in turn will bring, we're gonna have to take it a step further with step 2. Step 2 is now, okay, now you've gotten yourself together. You can look in the mirror and say, I love myself. I see myself. I see you. I love you. You are beautiful. You are strong. Like, I love you. You can do that now. Now you're interacting with people, you're confident, and you start to take inventory of the types of relationship you're having, the conversations you're having, how people are treating you, how you're treating other people. Now we need to identify ourselves on a deeper level. What are your standards? Do you have standards? What are your boundaries? Are you holding yourself accountable? Are you holding other people accountable? You need to start looking at yourself on that level now and start identifying your characteristics and your values. What do you value? What are some virtues? What's important to you? Are you big on peace, or do you just want to have fun? Like, what do you value? Because you need to identify that, because you are who you hang out with. So it'll help you start to navigate between the people you're around, because they have an impact on how you see yourself, whether you like it or not. Because when you hang out with people, sometimes the values don't align. When the values don't align, it can really shift your view of yourself. It can really have you questioning yourself. So it's important to figure out what your values are, what are your standards, what are your boundaries, and really be able to stand on that and really hold people to it. If there's people who are not respecting your boundaries or your standards, deuces. And we can keep it cute and keep it pushing. It ain't gotta be nothing major. Keep it cute. I'll put it on mute. I don't know who said that, but shout out to you. Okay, so now that we've identified our values, our boundaries, and we're standing firm on them, now we can start to identify ourselves on a higher level, which is going to be the third step. What are your goals? What are your goals? What do you want to do with your life? Who do you want to become? Start figuring out what your purpose is. And does those characteristics, those deeper level characteristics and those surface level characteristics, does this align with your higher self? And throughout this whole process, I was journaling. I was writing these things down. I was constantly having conversations with myself. I was constantly having conversations with God. I was constantly taking inventory of what I wanted for myself and coming to myself in deciding, like, have I been honoring that? Like, the things that I'm saying I want, is it aligned with my boundaries and my standards? Is it aligned with how I'm carrying myself? Because all these things do align. So when you're thinking about yourself from your higher perspective and you're deciding what your goals are and what you want to be, none of that kind of will come into fruition if the other two areas are not in alignment. You're going to disassociate. If you're saying you want to get married, but you out in the clubs, you might find your husband there. I don't know, that's none of my business. Anyway. Yeah, but throughout this whole process, I was journaling. I was taking myself on dates. I was reading. Reading is major. Like, you need to be consuming content and knowledge that's going to lift you up. You need to be putting yourself in situations that is going to bring the best out of you. You need to be honoring yourself. So start doing that. Start today. Start right now. You can do it. Make the changes. You're beautiful. You're strong. You matter. You deserve respect just like any other person. You deserve that. And you deserve to respect yourself, to love yourself, and honor yourself. Especially if you're going to be expecting it from from other people, you have to be giving that out to yourself. You have to be reciprocating that energy, giving that energy out to yourself and other people, and it's going to come back to you. It's going to return back to you. But it starts with putting your foot down and standing firm. Like, okay, you're going to lose some friends. If they don't honor you, great, good riddance. You're only going to make space for the people that will. You're going to make space for your purpose. You're going to make space for your husband. You're going to make space for all of those beautiful life experiences that you've been wanting to have. You're going to make space for self-love. You're going to make time for yourself. You're going to take care of yourself. I want that for you guys. If you're going to reach them goals that you want to reach, you're going to have to start holding yourself accountable. Taking inventory of who you are and who you need to become to achieve the goals that you see for yourself. So, not to get too chatty, I tried to keep this episode short. I hope this brought you guys one step closer to being aligned and alive. Next week, we'll be talking about, don't know, did not check my notes. So, bye guys. Love you guys. See you next week.